Let's explore a distinction we like to call alien card games, or and you're here. So, what is alien card games? Well, alien card games is a story in which you are the main character, right? So, with alien card games, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you a story, and I'm going to invite you to step into the role of the main character and notice what you notice from that role. And then I'll be asking you questions about what you notice from that role in a way that I fully expect you'll get insights into your life and clarity about some things you can do in order to improve the quality of your life so you get more of what you really want and less of what you don't. Now, I have to make something really clear. This is not a true story. I do not believe the story I'm about to tell you, right? It's not true, but it is interesting and can give you insight into your life. So, here's the story. In a galaxy far away, there's a planet named Talos, and the beings on this planet are intelligent, kind of like ourselves, except far more technologically advanced. And on the planet Talos, they have an interesting kind of vacation. It's a different kind of vacation where instead of taking your body to another location, they actually just send your consciousness to another location. And on these vacations, they actually send your consciousness to entire other galaxies. So you can go to a far-off galaxy and actually live the life of another human being. So instead of, again, going with your body someplace, you go with your consciousness into another being, where you essentially live their life. And you get the experience of being able to go to another and live their life. And you get to make choices on what happens in their life. So that's the vacation. Now, you are a being on the planet Talos. And you have chosen to go on a vacation to a far-off galaxy to a planet called Earth. And you're going to live a human life on Earth. Now, rather than have you kind of come in at a baby and be born and start from scratch, which is, in a sense, although it's pretty cool, it's kind of overrated, not really that exciting, we're going to have you come into a life, a full adult life. Right? So this person has their own history and their own family and their friends and their communities. They're going to have their own sets of possessions in their environment and their work, and they're going to have a bank account and a body with certain health and emotional patterns and caring. And they're going to actually have their own memories and their own identity. And what's going to happen is we're going to transport your consciousness into that person's body, and you're going to live their life. You're going to inherit all of those things as if they were you. So one way that we like to prepare our travelers for this trip is to give them kind of a metaphor, a way of thinking about it, which is it's like a card game. If someone else were playing a card game for a while, they would have all of their cards would be laid out, and everybody else would have their cards laid out, and they'd be in the middle of the game. Now, if you were to step in for them and take over their game, you would be inheriting the set of cards that they have. You'd be inheriting their hand and the way the whole board is set up. Or if you were inheriting a video game, if someone had been playing a video game for a while, when you stepped in, you would step into that game and with whatever situation they had. Well, in the same way, when you inherit that person's life, you inherit their card game, right? They're going to have the particular setup they have, the relationships, the commitments, the resources, the skills, the education, all the things that they have, that's what you've got. And that's what you've got to work with. Those are you could say, the cards that you're dealt when you inherit this person's life. And so this experience, when you come in, the good thing about it is that you are not beholden to play the game the way they were playing it. They might have had certain habits that they built or certain goals they were pursuing. Now notice, there are some things that you don't have choice about, right? There are some things you just inherit, like all the physical laws of Earth, the gravitation and your need for food and all the things which are just normal parts of the game, the things that you don't choose, those are things that you inherit. right? The situation that you inherit is what you got, and you don't really have any choice about that. That's how it is. However, while the person whose life you're taking over might have been following a particular set of strategies or had a certain set of goals and been playing a certain way, you are not beholden to play the same way that they played. So you could actually come into their life and look at it and just make completely new decisions. Now, again, there are some things that you cannot choose. That person's going to have certain commitments. If you're going to change those commitments, there will be consequences. And you need to take those consequences into account because this is your life. You're now living this person's life. So if you screw it up, you're the one who inherits what gets screwed up, right? So you want to be very intelligent. In fact, you want to be extraordinarily intelligent in the choices you make. And you can make different choices. You can make new choices. You can decide what you want to do with this life that you've inherited. Just like if you came into a card game, you'd be able to change the strategy given the nature of the game and given the cards that you're dealt. And now, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, and you're here. Welcome to Earth. Look around you. Notice the body that you've inherited. Notice the situation that you've inherited. Right? You've got a name. You've got a family. You've got a location. You've got possessions, right? This is your human life, right? And I'm Mark Michael Lewis. I'm a guide for the tourist company to help you adjust to what it's like to be here on Earth. Because we found that originally we would just send people here, but they wouldn't necessarily make great choices. So we brought me along so I can kind of help you adjust to this life on Earth. Now, there's a couple things to tell you. One, the game of thriving, right? All of the distinctions and the 3 triads and the 10 rules and the coaching programs and the videos and all of that stuff is designed to help you decide what you want to do with this life you've got, right? You inherited this life. You've got your history, you've got your emotional life, your relationships. What are you going to do with it? Imagine if Donald Trump were to wake up in your body tomorrow. Would he live the same life you live? Right? And the answer is probably not. Well, here's the thing. You're now waking up in this body right now. This is the hand of cards you've been dealt. What are you going to do with it? Right? What are you going to do with it? That is what Alien Card Games is about, and that's why I'm here to help you. The game of thriving is a set of ideas so that you can remember that you have choice about how you live this life, that you're not beholden to the choices made before. There are consequences if you're going to change any of them, especially on the people who have come to trust you, your relationships. You need to treat them with extraordinary care and respect. And you get to choose what you do with this life. So that's the story. Now, of course, that's just a story. I really don't believe that you're from the planet Talos. But if we pretend that we're from planet Talos, what did you get from that? Imagine if you really were from the planet Talos and you really woke up right now and inherited all of this. What might you do differently in your life? So I encourage you to remember that you're really from Talos and that this is all a gift that you've given yourself, a most sacred gift that I absolutely encourage you and implore you to treat as the most sacred possible gift. And it's your choice. So, I'm Mark Michael Lewis, head coach of the Game of Thriving, where the more you play, the better your life gets. And of course, I leave you with a question. What if you were to make your deepest happiness here in this space your highest priority?